Hello, Playdate. This is Don.
This is Nick.
And I'm Ryan.
This week we are covering Playdate news.
Recent indie releases.
And making that countdown to episode number 100 on this, our 97th episode. Guys, how incredibly excited are you?
It's getting very stressful in here.
We need to ramp up the behind the scenes discussions.
I guess so. I guess so. Cranking that ratchet, turning the screws, making Nick
Yeah.
uncomfortable, but moving on with today's show. So, Don, I think I cut you off before your
Oh,
show, Lee.
thanks for listening. Let's get started.
Let's get started.
Let's get started by thanking Elephant Star Balloon, the dev behind The Long Arc. He sent us some copies of The Long Arc a few weeks ago on catalog right now, currently $8. It is a fast-paced action arcade game, and it just kind of came out of nowhere. These copies that he shared with us, and I just wanted to thank him. We didn't mention it last time, and I was enjoying the game, playing it quite a bit, especially before the previous episode. But it's sort of like Castle Storm, which is a game I really enjoyed. You shoot arrows to defend your castle and kill ghosts and birds and wolves and everything else. All these different animals coming at you and enemies, and then you select upgrades after each wave, which has got like a little roguelike element. So pretty fun. So I am
Cool.
enjoying it, and thank you so much for thinking of us. We will take free stuff when appropriate. I don't know. I like the Playdate. Like obviously I like the Playdate, so I'm gonna like playing Playdate games. So thank you so much for thinking of us.
Totally.
Thanks
Yeah.
very much, Elephant Star Balloon.
And I remember commenting about what an incredible dev name that is. I
That's pretty
I
great.
like it a lot. I like saying it, and I like remembering it. And
Yes.
yes, we
It's a
like mentioning it.
fellow elephant company.
There you go. There you go.
Oh, you guys meet at the
Cool.
elephant company conventions and stuff?
We don't tend to talk about that outside the Elephant Company
Oh,
convention. What stays at the, never mind.
I'll
Anyway,
have to put
what
together
else?
an LLC and infiltrate.
All right. So moving right along to the next
Uh, guys,
correction. No, not
guys,
correction.
guys.
Nick.
We
Guy.
got we got a voicemail from Fitchip File, who
Whoop,
is
whoop.
the dev for Julia's mouse game.
Yeah.
Let's share that voicemail right here.
Hey guys, this is File. Thanks for the shout out to Julia's mouse game. My daughter loves the little game and our playdate. I thought some other dads might also appreciate a simple game for their loved ones, so I decided to publish it on itch.io. Here in Austria, File means fast arrow, and it's pronounced File. Keep up your amazing work, and thank you. Bye.
Thank you so much for calling, Nick.
Yes, thanks so much. It's great to hear from you, and really interesting to hear about the Austrian Playdate scene. So and what the meaning of Fitchip File is. So appreciate that very much.
Yes,
Uh,
thank you so much for calling. And I feel like this is my opportunity, guys, to say, and if you would like your own melodious voice on our podcast, please, please, please give us a call. That Bingo's tip line, that's 724 Bingo's one. That's 724-246-4671. And I want to give Nick a high five for remembering the person's name who called today. Thank you so much, Nick, for redeeming us. And hey, maybe now we'll get some more Bingo tip line calls. That could be you, dear listener.
Well, we mess up so many dev names. I'll take a correction on those and an articulated pronunciation whenever we can.
yes,
Excellent.
Always appreciate
and
that.
as always, apologize for our pronunciation because it's probably incorrect. But we did practice this one a bunch beforehand, and we're relatively confident our Americanized pronunciation is close to sort of
We
correct.
we all took a vote. Nick was the most accurate out of all of us awful Americans. So Nick, thank you for welcoming that lovely voice note into our show. With
Okay.
that said, I think we're done with the voice note corner of the show.
Yeah. But I was curious to check in and see, Don, if you had any more experience with Blippo Plus.
You know that I've had none, huh? Is that what you're saying?
I'm not discounting you immediately, Ryan, but I sort of was checking in with Don first, and then I was going to check in with
It was a correct dismissal.
Ryan played his Playdate a lot, just not Blippo.
This is true.
But he does not play Blippo.
This is also true.
Dabbled, but I did not play my Switch very much the past couple of weeks, honestly. So,
okay,
not much of a Blippo update this time. I will double down on the Blippo for next time.
Ooh, boy, that's a commitment. Good luck, Don.
Will do.
So that's a lot of blipping, but well worth it. Okay, so I guess that brings us to news and notes.
Toobity boob, our news and notes. That's right. I'm Nick. If you're going to take care of us this episode, you got to boop us in there like you mean it.
Okay, thanks, Ryan. So first up, Robot Rally gets a big update, and Hexa comes to the PC, Mac, and Linux. And Don, did you put this one in here?
I did, yeah. Robot, that's ROWBOT, Rally by Ray. Did get a big update. Achievements are here and a whole bunch of other features. You can go straight to the changelog with a link in the show notes. There is a Robo Shark Plus Endless Shark Chase version, mode added. A whole bunch of things. So check it out. Great game. So hop in on that. But also Hexa, a puzzle game that Ray made, which is a whole lot of fun, also has been ported to Windows, Mac, and Linux.
Hexa, yeah.
Hexa, yeah. I think if you, let's see here, if you buy it on itch, I think you just get all the copies included, I believe. Yes, you do. You do. You get the Playdate version as well as all of the computer versions, all in one bundle for $8. So that's a nice bonus. So check those out. It's a puzzle game, but it's a arcadey, fast-paced puzzle game. So check it out. If you like the Scenic Route software style of quick, easy to pick up, hard to master type puzzle games, then you'll appreciate Hexa for sure.
Very nice.
So there you go. That's the Ray
Announcement
Corner.
approved.
All right. So next up, I wanted to bring up or talk about this Mac app that was released by a Playdate dev, Keith Baker, called PDManager. And this is available for Mac OS devices, and it does all sorts of things with the Playdate, and it looks really cool. And I'm having a serious case of FOMO because I don't get to use it. So I'm curious if anybody has used this. I would love to hear from you and hear about what you enjoy about it, because I think it's very interesting.
Nick, you are jealous of a Mac app? Ooh, wow.
Of a Mac app. A Mac app. See. But yeah. So anyway, have any of you happened to have come by a Mac and installed this application and then given it a go?
Negative, good buddy.
No, I don't have a Mac anymore, but this does look really neat. I thought it was an iPhone app at first, so I was all excited, but no, it's only on a Mac desktop or laptop or whatever.
Oh, maybe mobile is the
Very cool,
next iteration.
Maybe.
We can hope.
All right, so we got in our Discord a little sneak peek of the Portland Retro Gaming Expo, as there was an attendee there. However, Panic posted to their socials and noted that they had their booth there and that Ratcheteer DX was on display, and that is Don, remind me, that's the Switch port of Ratcheteer?
I think it's on Steam as well.
And Steam, so it's in color, I take it.
Yes.
So they had that there along with the dev, and they also had a demo station with Root Bear, and they were giving out prizes for perfect pour high scores each day, which I fully support. Having done some similar stuff at different pinball shows in the past. But I really wanted to point out this photo because there's a giant display Playdate.
The giant Playdate, they brought it out
right in their booth, and I thought it was so cool looking.
Now,
So,
have we established, is that a functional Playdate or is that more of a display piece?
well, I've only seen this one photo, so I'm not sure. Don, do
It's a
you have any
display. It's a display.
insight?
Okay. I feel like they've trucked this out to other shows too, right?
Yes,
Potentially.
it's just a
Yeah.
TV.
Yeah.
The
Okay.
the crank turns, but it's not hooked up to anything.
Oh, interesting. Because it's docked, so it undocks and turns.
Yeah, that's what Greg says in the comments here.
Ah, very
Oh,
cool.
you can read words? I didn't see those.
I can, yes. Looks like they
Okay.
got a big stack of Playdates on the table there for sale.
Yeah,
Hmm.
That's nice.
looks like a nice booth. So,
Yeah.
um, one of these days I'll have to go across the country and check that out. Um, so that brings us to a new catalog grouping. Don,
New
you
catalog grouping. Yeah, yes. A haunted grouping. I was enjoying the booth.
sounds
I was
scary.
looking at the booth merch. A Halloween collection, haunted play date. So if you want some haunted spooky vibes on your device, check out the haunted playdate collection on the catalog. Right at the top is Ouija, which I believe is by Keith. Yeah, it's by Keith Baker, the creator of the PDManager.
Very nice.
Yeah, Synergy. As well as many other spooky games, some of which are on sale, which you'll hear about more here in a few minutes. So check those out. I love this nice little themed collection.
Yeah, it's very cool.
No better time to get your hands on Weggy.
Weggy. Yes, Weggy.
Haven't we been through this?
Classic
Never enough.
Ryan.
Never enough.
Yes. Okay, and Ryan is pointing us to uncrankedpdzine.substack.com for all of your uncranked zine news. There will be a link in the show notes, and that wraps up Uncranked Corner. But you can, and there's no new Destination Playdate videos, but there are 224 videos. Is that an accurate count, Nick?
That was accurate as of this afternoon. Yes.
Oh,
Wow. So if
goodness.
you want to watch in action reviews of 224 Playdate games, check out the Destination Playdate channel.
And
Man,
there's
I thought
playlists and
almost
groupings.
I thought
Sorry.
almost 100 episodes was something to toot our horn about. He's putting us to shame.
224 each with a bespoke costume. So
Goodness. Not to mention video editing.
Yeah.
Ugh. I do not wish that on any of us.
well, it's very impressive, and so I just wanted to point out just how much volume there was there. I know we talk about new videos when they come out, but I just wanted to take this opportunity to say, hey, there's a huge back catalog. Check it out.
Yeah. Big ups to Mr. Destination. Nice work over there.
Indeed.
Earning his rest. All right. Well, I think that brings us to the end of the news and notes, which brings us to the Hubity Indie inventory. Who's doing this one?
I can start with the itch games if you'd like. First up isn't really a game, but it's a concept. Werewolf by Ledbetter. This is a collaboration, sort of like a what are they called? A game jam, sort of like a game jam. It's a project where you make these little mini spooky games. The ware part is akin to WarioWare micro games based on pulp and spooky little pulp projects. So Ledbetter put this together, and the due date was this past weekend. So you got to get them in, and they must be free or have a free jam version. And then
And
he's
you
going to
must
stick them
submit.
together. Yeah,
You
you must
must
submit them
submit.
by
You must submit in the past.
in the past sense. But I wanted to give everybody a heads up because I don't think we're recording before Halloween. And he's going to be collaborating, putting this together in time for Halloween.
Ah,
So
cool.
check out the link in the show notes. Keep an eye on it, and it'll get updated with more information before Halloween.
Man, I love Ledbetter's contributions to the Playdate. You know how sometimes you can kind of feel like there's a dev style? I feel like Ledbetter has so many varied experiences on the Playdate. I don't know if I could ever say like this is a Ledbetter style, but it's always really well thought out and new and exciting. I don't know. I just wanted to give some props to Ledbetter. Nice work on this. Looking forward to seeing what comes of it.
His brain is so creative and so
Yes,
forward thinking. Yeah,
totally.
definitely an asset to
Definitely.
the community.
Uh-huh.
Absolutely.
Uh, I love the names of the devs this week. Next up is Playdate by Placeholders. This is a cozy sandbox pottery game made for the Playdate.
Oh,
Shape,
this is
smooth, and
Ghost for the
sculpt.
Playdate, right?
Goes for the Playdate, keeping with that Halloween theme. So yeah, you shape and play with clay however you like, or there are gentle quests, infinite generated vases to match. And then you have a little shelf. You can put your vases or vases, whichever Ryan prefers that I
I,
pronunciate it with.
I prefer using this game on my next date night. That's what I'm preferring. Look at this. This
There you
looks
go.
like romance in a little yellow box. My goodness. Can't wait.
Looks very cute. So give it, and the name is amazing. So is the logo. I love the logo. Clay Date by Placeholders.
Awesome.
Yeah. Oh, it's
Good find.
it's $2 currently on sale for $1.70.
Yeah.
Next up from Limited Ideas Productions is Snail City. Join Snail and Luigi in their quest to jump over every pipe in Snail Metropolis and beyond. This isn't your snail mom's flapping game. Snail City brings you to the fast pace, flapping challenge you deserve. So,
So
Now they've
can
got
I,
me wondering what kind of flapping challenge I deserve. Do I deserve any real flapping challenge?
I
I
think
also like the fact that we just talked about how fertile Ledbetter is with ideas, and then we come to the dev Limited Ideas
limited
Productions.
ideas. Yeah.
so.
That was not planned.
I've got a couple of questions. First of all, one of the characters is named Snail, but then
Yes.
the other is named Luigi, which I find very amusing. But
Oh,
the second question that I have is, did you read these features?
indeed. I did not read them out loud, but I did read them.
They're
There's, go
incredible.
ahead. Go
No,
ahead.
no,
Roll,
no.
read them. Read them.
All right. Did you know that this game has flapping? Question mark. Snails, high scores, and original sounds.
Oh.
No exclamation mark on that
No
last one.
exclamation point.
I mean, perhaps for the most exciting one, there was no exclamation point.
It is in what is that, sentence case or whatever though? Title case. Title case.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Snail City by Limited Ideas. I do love the art too. They did a oil
Yes.
painting of,
It's just
of
super
Flappy
cool.
Bird pipes and stuff. Okay. We've gone long on Snail City, $3. Grab it now.
Or not long enough.
Not long
Snails take a
enough.
little while to get where they're going.
So
Very
check that
thematic,
one out.
Don.
Yes. Next up, The Spirit of the Law by Intellicat. A long time Playdate dev. This one
Oh
is
boy.
it's part of the Werewolf collab. It's a short one-act
Ooh.
game. And oh, is it not here yet? Oh gosh, I just screwed up. Oh, but it looked really cool and it's going to be here in time for Halloween. That's why I wanted to mention it.
It
Because
looks
Intellicat does
amazing.
good stuff. Yeah, that
It
art
does.
is very cool. That mansion looks badass.
Title
And
card is
coming.
bonkers. The one screenshot we get looks, ooh, chef's kiss. Got this mansion. Uh, yeah, I'm just gonna let you go look at it. It's amazing.
Coming soon.
Oh, Don, I skipped ahead to the next one. But can you fill us in on what this is? So
Cranky
exciting.
Sheets.
Yes.
Only Nick and Nevin Mergen would be excited about Cranky Sheets. $3. This is spreadsheets for Playdate. It's a
Oh,
CSV
really?
editor and calculator built just for the
Finally.
Playdate.
There's a third person of excitement for this
Oh my
spreadsheet game.
gosh.
I'm all about the
The
spreadsheets.
Playdate is the perfect device for doing all your on-the-fly calculations.
Is it though?
You pull it out in the grocery store, you're filling in all the price of things and, doing your budget and everything.
Checking
Oh,
off
it's
your grocery
fantastic.
list.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, it's so versatile. And having the crank would make this so easy.
formulas made easy is one of the bullet
That's
points
what they
here.
say. That's what they say.
When you need to find the average of banana, cheese, and donuts, you can do that apparently.
Well, hey, maybe you need to know an average of red, yellow, and green bananas that you're purchasing and just want to know about how much you're buying.
Indeed.
That could be it too.
What a super list you can create with Cranky Sheets.
That's Cranky Sheets for $3 from Sub Robots. Thank you, Sub Robots, for bringing spreadsheets to the Playdate.
It's $3 Canadian.
Oh, so that's like
hello.
That's probably
Like
like
50 cents.
$5. That's
If
like
only-
$5 American now.
That's
if only
true.
we had a currency converting spreadsheet.
Oh, amazing.
Oh man.
Get
All right.
on
Well,
it,
I think
Nick.
that brings us to our catalog portion of the episode. Should I take this one? Does anybody else want to take this one?
I think Ryan's going to be talking a lot during pick of the week. Maybe Nick should go over.
Okay. Nick,
Okay.
take it away.
Hey, Don.
Hey, what's up?
Hi,
Say when.
I'm here too.
Oh, Ryan's here.
Well, yeah, one at a time, please. Say when, Don, okay? Grinding some cheese on your food. This game is called Say When, and it's by Smash Toad Studios. It's currently $10 on catalog, and it's a fast-paced cheese grating game with zany characters and off-the-wall mini-games. You are expected to grate cheese for all kinds of customers, keep cool in fast-paced mini-games, and find the perfect synergies with gameplay modifiers. So this is a score chaser, but it has a lot of really interesting elements. It looks like in one screenshot there's a rhythm element, perhaps, or maybe a combo situation going on.
I think
I
that's
don't
a
know.
Helldivers reference.
Is it?
The arrow buttons?
Yeah.
Yeah, that says Helldivers to me.
Okay, I'm woefully out of touch. So, have either of you played this game?
I've not, but it excites me that you're grating cheese for a cow in one of the animated GIFs.
I say no, I have not played it.
I have not either. However, this does look pretty cool. So this is Say When by Smash Toad Studios, and it's $10. So the Playdate can both act as a spreadsheet processor and cheese grater. So what's next? Let's find out. Next up is Pine by Intellicat. And Pine is an adventure game. People come to this island to end their suffering, but how that suffering ends depends completely on them. That's a quote from the old man. You arrive on Pine Island late in the day, weary, bearing a load in your rucksack that only you know of. What are you trying to escape from, Jake? Why did you choose this island of all places? Is it that you've been here before? Something about this island seems so familiar. Pine is a psychological sci-fi thriller adventure with influences as varied as Jacob's Ladder, Lost, The X-Files, Inception, Metal Gear Solid, and more. It's heavily story-driven and includes moderate to rather difficult puzzles, stealth action, and light combat elements. And there's an instruction manual that you can download. And they say it's approximately 8 to 12 hours worth of gameplay. So this sounds really cool to me.
Yeah, looks really great too.
And the stealth, I'm assuming this is a stealth image, the third one down the page. Reminds me of the original Metal Gear.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool. So that is Pine by Intellicat, and it's currently $5 on catalog. All right, Ryan.
Nicholas.
Now is your chance. It's time to talk about Housebow. We've spoken about this when it was out on itch. Do you recall?
An isometric game, yes?
Yes. And it's a chill, minimalist puzzle game by Peter Mulater, which I hope that I am pronouncing almost correctly. It's currently $2 on catalog, and you're trying to build modernist isometric cityscapes using random blocks. Relax, get creative, and enjoy jazzy tunes as your town takes shape. There's a Zen mode and a high score mode.
So, are you sure that we talked about this? Because I remember talking about a game that you're sort of doing an isometric build thing, but there was this like uh, little fellow that would interact with you before you placed your piece once each day. But I don't think it was this one. Are are
Yeah,
you
we talked
confusing
about it
games or am I
in
confusing games?
November 19th of 2024. The
Fine.
episode Playdate Merchandise Gecko Snacks.
We definitely talked about it, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm blanking on
What
this
are you
one.
talking about with a guy that talks to you? Was
Yeah,
that
That was a different
MDMR or whatever?
I can picture the title card in my mind. It was sort of like an Atari box art reference.
Oh,
And
how's Hablet?
Hablet, yes, thank you. Man, Steel Trap Dawn, nice work. Yes, I was thinking of Hablet. This is not Hablet.
That's a
This
different
is
game.
Housebow.
Okay, well, this is a different game that we talked about previously, right? It's called Housebound.
It kind of
Fantastic.
looks the same though. You're right. I mean, it looks
It
very similar, the gameplay and
it's
whatnot.
got some similar elements. It's an isometric,
Yeah.
city builder type thing, but the graphics look quite different in my eyes, um, despite it being isometric.
Wow, both with an H. Crazy.
Yeah, so you're seeing my confusion, right?
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I'm picking
Okay.
up what you're putting down.
All right. Man, thanks for that title recall, Don. I'm still impressed.
Yeah,
Well,
that
it's that iconic box art. That
Yes.
stuck with me.
Yes, totally. And I downloaded it and played that for a few days. Have not played Housebow though, so
well,
I have
this may be
nothing
your opportunity.
I have
Now's the
nothing to
time.
contribute at the moment.
Housebound by Peter Mulater is $2 on catalog. Okay. Next up, let's see,
Oh
Ryan,
boy.
this this is Red Terror. Are you familiar with Wolfenstein 3D?
You know I am.
Well, this appears to be Wolfenstein 3D on the Playdate,
Hmm.
which itself is impressive, uh, with a substitution of the enemy in that game for the USSR. So instead of fighting Hitler and the Nazis, you're fighting uh, people from the Soviet Union. Um, and there's a backstory here. It's 1935, and it's a dark and bitter November night somewhere in the USSR. You awake in the middle of the night, stuck, waking up in a feverish state of mind. You can't really tell if it's just your heart beating away or if someone's at the door. As the NKVD bursts your front door open, you realize that the worst has come. The black cars are already parked outside your house, and it's time to go where most men never come back. So, this game is a first person shooter. So, there's a big element of violence in it, and it's called Red Terror by Jimmy Johnson, and it is $7 on catalog.
I noticed there's a couple typos in here.
Yes.
Did they just take the devs stuff and slap it in here, or I'm guessing? Can I submit a correction? Is what I'm getting at.
I think
I
I
think
think
what I think what I'm hearing is Don needs to submit an application to be
to to proofread
catalog's editor.
catalog.
Yeah, yeah. Let's get you some remuneration for this work. Anyway, next one is what, Nick?
SHPR, and this is by Zacharino Dev, and it's currently $6 on catalog.
Shipper.
Shaper.
Okay,
Shopper.
Shaper maybe.
Shopper.
Shopper?
Go shopping for
Open to
triangles.
interpretation. Let's talk about it.
Shooper? Okay.
Sharper? Shaper.
Shopper.
SHPR is an
I'm late.
arena survival roguelike, Ryan, in which you have to buy items while creating amazing builds and synergies that'll help you defeat enemies to be able to pass to the next stages. So, Ryan, are you familiar with arena survival roguelikes?
Um, Not so much, but I did want to tell you one thing, Nick.
Please do.
You can call me anything you want. Just don't call me late for supper.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I appreciate that input.
I'll let it go since it's your last episode.
Oh man, it hasn't been my last episode for a while.
Yeah, it's been a while, but
I can't believe that SHPR is what pushed us over the top here. But anyway, this looks really cool, and we are really not doing this game justice. But it is a very minimalist sort of presentation. There's a experience bar, I believe, at the bottom, and you are a shape enclosed in a circle. There's a little indicator showing which direction you are facing, and then there's a bunch of stuff swirling out of your shape and attacking these other shapes. So this, go ahead, Don.
correction, it's a health bar at the bottom. The bottom.
It's a health bar. Okay.
If he gets touched, the health bar goes down.
Oh, the bottom GIF. I hadn't scrolled all that way. Okay. I'm very slowly observing this GIF. There we go. Okay. Yep.
Lets you know if you need to go home and get some more supper.
Okay. Thanks, Ryan. So this, similar to some other recent games that we've talked about, it looks like you're able to choose an upgrade and between stages, and looks really cool. I'm very interested to see how this plays. And that is Sharper.
Supper.
Supper. And it is by Zaccarino Dev, and it's $6 on catalog.
I don't know about you guys, but I always feel like I need to take a little walk after supper.
That's good, Ryan, because you won't want to be here for this next one. It's called Space Mash.
So much editing this episode. Space Mash.
It's
Sounds
by
delicious. Go ahead.
It's by Paul Thomas, and it's $9 on catalog. Looking for a shooter, but put off by the insane skill required by the faster games? This dev is speaking directly to me.
Yeah,
Space Mash could be for you. A wild bullet hell shmup that allows the player to slow the action right down at any time by undocking the crank and giving it half a turn. That's an interesting little twist.
Huh.
Space Mash features traditional bullet hell essentials, such as non-random levels that enable you to memorize enemy attacks, aimed and fixed pattern bullets with bullet hurting gameplay, points for bullet grazing, enforced 1 credit clear on all 10 levels. Enforced 1 credit clear. Interesting. So you only have 1 life. Tap dodging, single player shot mechanic to maximize the benefits of point blank attacks, hidden bonuses, and of course, end of level bosses with multiple attack patterns. This sounds really cool. I do like a good shmup. So this game is called Space Mash. It's by Paul Thomas, and it's $9 on catalog.
And I agree. It does look great.
Yeah.
I love that crank mechanic they were talking about too. That sounds so cool.
Super cool.
Graphics are really cool too.
Yeah. And legible from the GIFs.
I need a Space Mash t-shirt, I think.
You and me both. All right.
So is this a first time on the Playdate with the crank slowing down the speed?
Crankin's time travel.
Well, that's like moving you forward or backward in time. And yes, it's true that you can crank fast or slow, but I feel like this is a first in terms of like you're at speed A or speed B, and the crank is the one that's throwing that toggle.
I'm just going to point out that this is a first for this podcast. Ryan actually did something Don said instead of something Nick said. So,
oh, Nick, I'm sorry.
Very impressed.
I can tell I have made Nick's scorn list. I'm sorry, Nick. I'll work harder to get off that list.
We've all been there.
It'll take some time, Ryan. All right. So Um,
I don't know.
I don't know the answer to your question though. Do you happen to know, Don?
I don't know.
Okay.
Something to ponder.
It seems as though Don answered it correctly, and then Ryan said no, not at all. So we'll have to do more research and get back to you. But before we do that, let's move on to the next game, which is Inspector Waffles Early Days.
We need to speed it up. Sorry, Nick.
Okay. And this is by Goloso Games, and it's $10 on catalog. And
It's also on
this
Switch and PC.
is it? Okay.
Yeah.
It's a prequel of Inspector Waffles. So that game is a PC adventure detective game released in 2021. This new game was made for Game Boy Color and is now available for Playdate.
And Xbox and probably PlayStation.
That's very cool. Okay. So it's a fun detective game featuring cats and dogs, 6 cases to solve, including a secret mystery to unravel through all the cases. You got to find hints, solve puzzles, interrogate cats of interest, report to your partner, and find out who the culprit is. Love a good mystery game. Love a good adventure game. That's Inspector Waffles Early Days by Goloso Games, and it's $10 on catalog.
Hurry up, Nick.
I do love the art at the top.
I wasn't trying to be a dick. I'm just saying.
All right.
So does
next
anybody
up-
play this on Game Boy Color?
Well, I thought we were hurrying up here.
That's the joke. That's the joke.
Okay. Not yet, Don, but hopefully one day. Okay. Next up, we've got Aurora Oasis Adventure, and this is by Louis Banana Marget, or Louis Banana Marget. And it's $3 on catalog. All right. So Aurora Oasis Adventure is an action-adventure game in the vein of the first Legend of Zelda and made with pulp. You play a character inspired by old-school robot toys. You've got me. With the crank on its back, and you meet up in an oasis on a desert world, and you wake up in an oasis on a desert world. Here you'll meet the caravan, a group of people stuck there because of a sandstorm, and you'll be asked to help them find their lost companions. It'll be up to you to explore the oasis. It's 125 plus rooms. That's pretty sprawling, and it's dungeons in order to save the caravan.
And I don't want you to miss this part. It's bold. It says all benefits will go to UNICEF, helping children around the world. So that's only $3 from Louis Banana Margot. And I'm feeling rushed. I think we should move on.
I think it looks really cool.
Typo on this one too.
Oh gosh.
All right. Keep going.
Okay. So you may have noticed, listener, that there's about a double load of catalog games. There is a lot of catalog games that came out between shows. So next up we have Dex Sweeper, and that's made by Fishagon LLC, and it is $4 on catalog. In Dex Sweeper, the cursor never stops moving. Use
geez.
your Playdates. I'm feeling some anxiety from some of
Yes.
this. Yeah. Use your Playdate's crank to guide your movement, then time your tile reveals carefully. One wrong move could be your last. And there's 2 styles and 2 modes with 3 difficulty levels each. Deck style is the full Deck Sweeper experience with both crank and classic Minesweeper strategy. Classic style is just Minesweeper without the crank. No guess mode is the modern favorite. Never encounter a 50-50 scenario. And then standard mode is the tried and true grid style from the origins of the genre. So if you're able to master the perfect clear, then you can answer this question. Can you master the perfect clear? With quick reflexes, smart deduction, and precise timing, you'll uncover the board and dodge deadly mines. How fast can you solve the grid? This Deck Sweeper, Fishagon LLC, which great LLC name, and that is $4 on catalog.
That looks just as insane as the description sounds. I love Minesweeper, but I also I feel like I enjoy it in the way that Dawn enjoys a good chill puzzle game. Like you can sort of sit with it for a little bit, but that constantly moving cursor to like plink
not
down
so
your
much.
Whoa, boy. My palms are already sweating.
Same. All right. So next up, we've got Cranky Cube by Benzalo, and this is $3 on catalog. Cranky Cube is a fully 3D puzzle cube game. Think Rubik's Cube, but without the name brand. Use the crank to rotate, spin, and solve 2x2 and 3x3 puzzle cubes. You can also customize your own cube designs with the built-in editor and climb the leaderboards by solving them as fast as you can. So that is Cranky Cube. This
So are you,
reminds
I don't know if you know the answer to this question, but are you moving the cube by using the crank? Or like, how would you determine which direction you're moving? Either like, rotating horizontally, rotating vertically.
Use the
right.
crank to rotate, spin, and solve.
Thank you. My goodness. Very cool.
It
Looks great.
looks super smooth, super fluid, and I'm really interested in this. And having a timed clear is pretty interesting.
Oh,
Um,
Nick,
Kind
are
of
you
shows the
proficient?
instructions.
Go for it, Don.
Some of the gift shop kind of show the instructions on how the crank works, by the way.
Hmm. Hmm. Uh, I was going to ask, Nick, are you proficient in Rubik's Cube? You seem like the kind of guy who would know how to solve a Rubik's Cube.
you're incorrect, Ryan.
Really?
I'm not at all. No, I'm not proficient, but I've
Well,
never.
tomorrow's lunch break can solve that.
I don't see Nick having the patience.
Really? Oh my gosh.
I
Nick's
feel that
got
I'm fairly
saintly
patient.
patience.
Why?
He puts up with us every
Not the
fortnight.
patience to learn a Rubik's Cube.
Oh
You
man,
think?
I feel
I'm
like
being
I've tried him for the past 96 episodes. He's got the patience for
I fe-
this.
yeah, but his hands would be occupied. He's got to be doing like 5 other things at once.
Well, he could download this on 5 separate playdates and be a happy fellow.
He could, I guess. Yeah.
I'm being called out here. Um,
On your
so do
phone?
you-
I hear somebody's phone.
Not
that
mine.
that is mine.
Oh.
Literally called out.
Yes.
Or do you
Pardon me.
just feel
The
seen?
streets are calling.
Well, it's a Rubik's Cube actually, and it's asking why I haven't solved it yet. That is Cranky Cube by Benzalo, and it's $3 on catalog.
Okay, that's got to be it, right? Are we done
You're
with the
wrong.
games?
There's
Okay.
more, Ryan. All right. You ready?
I think so.
This is the last one. And it's called Togglebot by Beep Yeah LLC.
Hey, almost.
And it's $3 on catalog. All right. This is a block pushing, brain tickling, bit flipping puzzle game for the Playdate. Your Togglebot and your task is to bring order to an inverted world. Puzzle your way through 30 levels of logical limbo using portals to switch from black to white and back again. What seem to be blocks to push could also be paths to walk. You'll flip your thinking inside out to solve each puzzle.
This looks really clever, and not only that, the graphics look a little rudimentary, but check out that animation on that
That-
bot. It's got a little trail
Cons-
behind it for a split second.
Yep.
Very cool.
I was going to say it looks rudimentary, but there's been a lot of work to make this really polished looking.
For sure, for sure.
So
And it looks like the levels grow in complexity as you move up. Very neat.
The logo's
I'm glad it
awesome
doesn't
too.
glad it doesn't throw you into the most complex levels right off the bat. Yeah, that's good.
I feel like you're mocking me. Should I put you in my scorn book?
Not at all, Ryan. All right. So that is Togglebot, and it's by Beep Yeah LLC, and it's
right.
$3 on catalog. Okay, Ryan.
Well, Beep, yeah, come back when you have the right vowel in your name. But in the meantime, let's go to those on sale games, starting with Cosmosis by Bulbware. It's 25% off, 4 to 3. We've got Xeno Escape from 3 to 2. And we've got Bona Fido from 5 to 3, 40% off for the big discount winner of this fortnight. And that's it. Sort of a light sale week, 3 games. But hey, we're not going to be beggars and choosers. We appreciate any sale games we get. And I think that brings us to boop, 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 our pick of the week. This time it is from Donathan. Don, please regale us with this game. I can't wait to talk about this one.
The game I chose is called Cranky Cove by John Samontov. Welcome to Cranky Cove, a stubborn little town in need of a guiding hand. Use a crank to spin 3 rings, lining up workers, tools, and materials to craft items for the ever-demanding townsfolk. So if you have played a game like Overcooked, then you have played... This is similar. This is like Overcooked with a crank. I feel. It's like a management game, a frantic management game. I don't know what are those games called? Nick is just staring into the middle
That sounds
distance.
that sounds like a good description to me, Don. I think you should be
Yes.
confident in that description.
Okay. So
Di-
the what is
Diner
it?
Dash?
A
Is
diner
that what
dash.
you're
A
thinking?
diner dash. Yeah, it's got that diner dash vibe, but with a crank. So you got
Yeah.
three circles, and you got people, tools, and ingredients, and you have to select the cranks, turn them, and make matches to create different items. So it's got a little bit of Pocket God in it, mixed with a, a panic game. What did I just call them? I forget what I just called them. But so you're trying to create
A
these
frantic
items, a
inventory
frantic
game? Is that
inventory game, in order to satisfy customer requests. So you have all these different roads coming to your circle, and then somebody says, "Oh, I want bacon." So you need to put a chef, a knife, and a pig together, and then that will create bacon. And then you turn the crank over so that the bacon matches with the little road where the customer is requesting bacon. The faster you do it, the more money you get, and the happier that customer is. If you take too long, customer gets ticked off and they make a frowny face and they eventually will walk off if you don't make it fast enough. The challenge comes in that the more ingredients, the more people, the more tools that are introduced, the more recipes you have to try and remember and deal with. And it becomes pretty challenging. So, the kind of cool thing with Cranky Cove is the story is told through these postcards, which have like a photorealistic picture on one side. You flip it over and it has the story on the postcard, which I thought was really cute. And then, like, a doctor wrote the address on it, like very scribbly description. It's got cute little art style, and the music slaps, and lots of items to mess with. It's got a Crankopedia, so you can take a look at everything that you've discovered, take a look at all your recipes and achievements. So there's a lot going on. But what did you guys think of this game? I know Ryan hated it, and he's
Not a
pointing to Nick,
chance.
I think. So you
Yeah,
want
let's
Nick
hear
to
from
go
Nick.
first? All right.
Yeah.
Uh, so this game definitely gave me Diner Dash vibes. That is really the thing that I equated it with most. You're making these connections. It's sort of like a match three, but you're rotating, um, and you're rotating three different concentric circles, and you're matching up occupations with objects that they use in their occupation, and then something that they use that object on. So, for example, you'd have a chef with a knife, and then maybe a fish, and then they make fish fillets. Um, that I found that basic premise is very engaging. Love the music. As Don said, it does indeed slap, and also the postcards, beautiful. And there's so much different description. I wasn't sure if those were all coming from the same voice or if it was different voices as you progress. Um, do you happen to know if the perspective of the person writing those postcards changes each time that you change stages, or if it's always the same person's perspective?
Yes, you're right. I had the same exact confusion as I was making my way through the game, but now that I've completed the game,
It makes
there's
sense.
there's my subtle flex. I can tell you for sure that that they are from different people's perspectives. Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Um, so the actual gameplay I found quite challenging. So after the tutorial and the first few stages in chapter one, I was surprised. I felt there was a big ramp in difficulty, but there are a ton of options to help uh, poor losers like myself to get ahead in the game. And so I um, did beat my head against the wall for a little while and then turned one of those on in the interest of being able to see a bit more of the podcast for the podcast.
What did you
Um,
turn on?
I turned on no fail
Oh.
on one of the stages because there was I was consistently failing with like one person left to satisfy.
So does that basically take away the time limit?
No, it just removes the penalty for people walking away angry.
Okay.
It removes the time limit too, I think.
Oh,
Well,
does
there
it? I never hit the
probably
time limit.
because there's multiple ways to lose. You can make
Oh, okay.
multiple people
Well, that's good to
angry.
know.
You can run out of time.
Well, no
Yeah,
fail is no fail. So
yeah.
Yeah. Well,
That would
as
take
you
Ryan,
away all
just
that.
go until you like if you have to make 15 matches, then you
Yeah.
just go until you make 15
make
matches.
15.
Yeah. Okay, that makes
So,
sense.
so as Ryan can attest, I'm pretty abrasive. So I just didn't want to continue making people angry. So yeah, I turned that on for that. I did turn it back off once I got to chapter 2, and so there was just a weird like problem that I had getting through that one stage. But once I got through there, it was all good for me. And I don't know what sort of mental block I had on that one. I think I was just freaking myself out that I kept failing. Um, and I got a ways into chapter 2, and I was really enjoying myself. But unfortunately, I ran out of time to get much further than that. I am excited to experience more of what the game has to offer because every stage or every couple of stages so far, and maybe these mechanics are front loaded at the beginning of chapters, they reveal new people or new tools that the people can use or new things that they can manipulate or items that they can create through combinations of different things that are manipulated by other people and items and tools. So I found that extremely compelling, and trying to keep all that in my head, I thought it was doled out at an appropriate pace to make it so that I was not confused by the
Oh,
number of options. If you remember back um, an earlier game that we talked about, I was confused at the pacing because there were a lot of things that were revealed very quickly. And this game, I was a little concerned at first that it was going to be doing that because the first couple of stages or the first 3 stages or tutorial stages or whatever, it felt like a big amount of info that was disclosed in a very short period of time that modified the game in quite a number of ways. But once I started playing, I realized that that was because you needed at least those number of things and interactions in order to make that experience compelling. Um, and I want to shout out this dev a lot because they did a lot of really difficult polish work on this game.
Mm-hmm.
They spent a long time and obviously watched a lot of people play this game for the first time to realize where they needed to tutorialize within the game, not just in the broad tutorial, but
Mm-hmm.
throughout gameplay. Um, where they needed to add difficulty modifiers, where they needed to pop up messaging saying, "Hey, check it out! You got an achievement. This is what that means." Here's where you can go look at the Crankopedia and see, what exactly you're cranking up. Give yourself a refresher or whatever. I thought it was all very well designed. From
And that,
yeah.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No,
I,
go for it.
I was going to add on to what you're saying that it's not just in the couple beginning chapters that continues on into the really latter parts of the game
Yeah,
where some really new, interesting, different, difficult mechanics are being introduced. And there's even like okay, you fail a couple times, then like, oh, hey, you might think about it in this way. And it sort of gives you these little hints as you're going along to keep you moving forward so you don't get frustrated. So just echoing what you said, there must have been quite a bit of play testing on this game because it's quite well portioned, and I have some thoughts on that too, but I'm not sure if you're done. So I'm gonna shut my mouth for now and let you keep talking, Nick.
The graphical elements I found very easy to discern. So there's a number of different people and tools and things. And I didn't have a hard time telling them apart, at least in chapter 2, which is where I stopped. So I don't know if that gets more difficult as that more and more and more are introduced. But at this phase of the game, I felt it was still very clear. And rotating things is very smooth. It works exactly as you would expect. It's very intuitive from that perspective. There are connections which are made when um, there's a thing that you can make. So, for example, if you have a fisher person, you've got a hook, and then you've got a worm, and you line them all up, and they'll make this connecting tissue, and then it'll get slightly bigger, and then it'll poof pop into a fish. Um, and that replaces both the person, the tool, and the worm. Uh, and so you're left with the fish on the outer ring. Anyway, I'm doing a terrible job of describing this, but
Just to echo that polish statement based on what you just said, so achieving that three-part transformation that Nick was just talking about, I think that that also is done in such a perfect way because it's not too long. It sort of
mm-hmm.
doop and then transforms, but that slight delay that happens is so important, especially for latter stages as you start moving this wheel around. And not only do you get more people coming in from the sides, more objects put on every one of the wheels, because when you're turning it around, there's often times where multiple people will affect same objects in different ways, and you don't want one of the people to affect the objects because you're looking for that alternate thing. So it gives you just a split second to, oh, wait, no, that's not it. Crank a little more, get them out of there, move the new person into place so that you can get the right one. And once in a while, it'll sort of transform before you have a chance to see it. But for the most part, I would say that timing of the transformation is perfect, perfectly done. So again, I will be quiet again and fade into the background while Nick finishes.
I don't have a whole lot more to say, but there's a similar transition when you're giving that to the person who has ordered whatever piece of food or whatever. And I also felt that was perfect. And if you are like me and occasionally you forget how to make a thing, sometimes you can find that combination just by rotating one of the rings, and you'll see, oh, that animation's starting. That's right. That's how you make whatever. And then it'll poof into existence, and then you can feed the person, they'll be on their way. Or if you're also like me, they'll just be really angry at you and then walk away. But they walk away slowly, so if you're fast enough, you can still win. I think. Maybe. All right. That's all I got.
Okay, popcorn me then. So if it wasn't clear at the start, I'm gonna echo the fact that I really enjoyed this game a whole bunch. It really sunk its teeth into me. And I feel like there's been a couple weeks now where, um, I don't know, Don was on this big roll for a long time in this show where I was like, man, everything that Don picks is the best. And then like the past couple choices have been like, oh man, I don't know. Your reputation's getting tarnished with me, Don. But this one, whoo, shot it right back up there. This game really resonated with me quite a bit. So uncharacteristically, I hopped into this game almost immediately after recording our last episode, once you announced it, Don. And I'm so glad I did because I needed that amount of time to really get all the way through the game because literally I completed it today, like when we're recording. So it took me that 2 weeks to make my way through at what I think is a healthy pace, I would say. So as the game progresses, not only do the number of Cranky Cove residents coming in from the outsides requesting things from you increase, but also the items on the wheels start to increase, but also the mechanics start to change on you a little bit, get a little bit more complex. And I'm really like hesitant about what all I want to say because some of them are really interesting reveals and interesting ways to switch up gameplay that is not just jamming more things on a wheel. Like, yes, that happens too, but there's also alternate levels, alternate ways to achieve things. It's just, it keeps the surprises coming. It keeps the game feeling fresh. And if it feels like 65 levels of wheel turning match play would get tiresome, John Simintov did a wonderful job of keeping things fresh throughout the game, keeping the narrative moving throughout the game. And man, I just love this so much. It really gets challenging in certain levels. And okay, so I'm gonna sort of try to transport myself back a couple weeks ago because I'm fresh off the end of the game at the moment, but I would like to jump back and uh, give Nick his missing doses of actualies this episode. So he mentioned how the difficulty ramp felt really good to him. And in my mind, when I was first starting out, I was like, oh boy, here's another thing to remember. All right, another level, even more to remember. And I felt like I was getting kind of overwhelmed. And it wasn't until I think really close to the end of chapter 2 where the instructions say, oh, hey, and by the way, you can click the circle button to fly out the menu and show was that the Crankpedia where it shows you what lines up with what to make a
Hmm.
certain thing. So I was wishing that it told me that a lot earlier. I felt like I was trying to keep a lot in my head in those first couple chapters and just felt such a sigh of relief by the time it was introduced. So maybe if that mechanic were drawn to my attention a little earlier, I never, I'm not a big circle button presser. So maybe it was there all along. And if I pressed the circle button earlier, I would have seen that, but I did not. So that would have been a minor request of mine. And then as the game progresses, like I said, there's more combinations, there's more items, there's more complexities to the point where when you bring out that circle button Crankpedia to see what's going on, you can only see sometimes a tenth of what you need to create in that particular round. And the way that you see additional items is to press the circle button again, boink, to get back to gameplay, and then again, boink, to get back into pause mode so that you can see the next portion of items. So as you
Hmm.
ramp up to more items, it's 2 screens and then 3 and 5 and up to 10 screens. And at that point, yes, you're getting closer to the end of the game. But that was a thing that I felt like, gosh, I'm really not having a great time pressing this circle button 10 times, no, 20 times over to get to the 10th screen to finally see, okay, that's the thing I'm trying to make. That's how to make it. With that said, I understand why that needed to be done. Because if you press the circle button and you use the crank, like I was thinking, oh, well, if you crank through it, well, no, then that crank allows you to crank through the menu itself, but not the Crankpedia. So it would interfere with that like lower level language that they have going on. But man, I was really wishing for some sort of an alternate way through that menu. John Simintov, I can only imagine that with the amount of polish in this game that you have already thought about that and exhausted all the possibilities, and there just maybe was not another one because the crank and the up and down arrows are already used by that lower level menu. But if there was ever a way to allow the user to move through that in a little swifter fashion, that's another one of my very minor critiques about this game. Um, I'm trying to think if there are any others that are not spoilery. I don't know.
So,
Those are some thoughts of mine. Does that spark any thoughts for you guys?
well, something you were just saying, it would be interesting if Panic allowed devs to push the left button when you're on the menu to
Mm,
use the left side of the screen
yeah.
and then use the crank. Kind of like when you're entering text, it sort of brings up an additional menu and then you can navigate in there, and it works. It's really slick the way it works when
Oh,
you're
that's
entering
brilliant.
text.
I love that.
I don't see why you wouldn't be able to navigate that additional screen just by
I
using the
love
D-pad.
I love that idea. Yeah, the up and down arrows are accounted for, but left
The
and
left
right
and
I
right
don't
don't
think
really do
are.
anything. Yeah.
Yeah,
As far
yeah,
as I can think of, I can't think of any examples where left and right are working.
yeah. Hmm.
And in a game like this, it would be nice to just be able to, oh, okay, well, there's only 30 recipes in this level, so it would be nice to just go up and
Oh,
down or
that'd be
however
such a
many there are.
godsend. Such a godsend for those 10 screen levels where, oh, yeah, that was a
So
little rough.
a little transparency, I didn't really play much the past week, my play date at all. And so there was this a bit of a divide where I played quite a bit the first few days, and then I played quite a bit today and yesterday, or tried to. Uh, And so I had a really hard time remembering the recipe for sushi and bread when I was trying to finish up a level. I just could not remember it. And that became like a bit of a knock on the game in a way because I kept making the wrong things. And then I would catch myself like the chef kept making um oh no, at one point she kept making breaded fish
Yeah,
instead
fried
of
fish.
sushi,
Yeah.
fried fish over and over and over. And I had a crap load of fried fish, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, like I keep accidentally making fried fish."
Yeah.
But in my head, like make putting fish in a can just didn't make sense to me. Most of the recipes kind of made sense, but that was just a mental hurdle. Like putting fish in a can did not,
I, I
pickling it,
think
I
it's
guess, didn't make sense to me.
I think it's like, tossing it in the fryer and boiling it up type of thing with the can.
Maybe, yeah, maybe if there was a little bit more explanation, or if it prompted you to actually explore the Crankpedia at some point, because you don't really ever have to look at it. Maybe that would have been
Well,
nice.
not if you can memorize the whole darn thing, but if there's stuff that you need to remind yourself of, I had to refer to it quite a bit. And as you go
Yeah, maybe further on.
further in the levels, the combinations become quite complex. So in order to get sushi, uh, fish, knife, chef,
Hmm.
that's relatively easy to remember. It's the first you have to catch the fish, then you have to
Yeah.
slice it. That's sushi. So basically two, but there are some that involved up to like 5 steps to get the thing that you need. And oh man, just such a brain teaser. And then adding a time-based component on top of that. But what I really liked was the fact that when you reference the Crankpedia via that circle button, that time stops for you. So when you're looking at
Okay.
that, you don't have to feel rushed. Like you can take your time looking through the menu items there, and you cannot see your circular play field until you hop back out, and then time starts ticking again. But at least when you're referencing that eventually giant menu that you don't have that pressure of time. I thought that was really great.
You guys know I hate timers, so I turned the timer off. I
Oh,
didn't have to feel
interesting.
the timer.
Okay.
Uh,
I never turned on any of the help the helper stuff, the no fails or the timer or whatever.
I didn't want that pressure on me.
Hmm.
There's enough pressure just having to feed well, I guess it wasn't really that much pressure, but having to feed the people or give the people their jewelry or whatever before they
Hmm.
got mad. But I guess it didn't
Hmm.
really matter. You had to satisfy 15 people or 20 people or whatever it was.
Huh. Yeah, I
Um,
really enjoyed that timer actually because there were a number of levels where I would get real close and then that timer would run out. So it really forced me into being crazy efficient with movements to the point where when the transformation animation is happening, like you're not using that singular second to watch it happen before it moves. You're using that singular second to like scan around your screen and see what
mhm.
else is available and use every spare moment. And another kudos to John Simintov for the like just pitch perfect timing on these levels too. I felt like he had it timed to a T where it was challenging yet achievable, but I would occasionally have to do levels 2, 3, 5 times before I got it. But it wasn't like I had to do it 100 times to get it. It was really
Well,
great.
I felt like the challenge levels were kind of too long. So even with the time with the no fail off, although I'm curious, maybe you can fail the challenge levels because I barely passed the challenge levels. Challenge levels felt really long. Like the timer was very long, but I would pass
How long
them.
did your timer get?
Oh, does the timer just go until you satisfy it?
No,
I thought it was counting down.
there are different times and different levels. So like some are like 2 minutes, some are 5 minutes. I
Okay,
got up
yeah,
to like
I thought
10
they were
minute
five
levels.
minutes. Yeah, I feel like that's a lot of time to be making matches.
On the latter levels, it gets up to 10 minutes. And when you're referencing the Crankpedia, it does bump up the time investment on this game. Like initially I thought, oh, this is sort of a cool pick up and play, you can just play a
Hmm.
level in a couple minutes. But then by the time you're getting to those upper levels, like I had to invest like a good 20 minutes to get through a level or to attempt to get through a level in those latter stages. Um, so the gameplay really does change and the complexity really does ramp up.
Yeah, I like this in small bites. Like the way you plowed through the whole thing. I don't think I could do that with this game. I
Hmm.
like it in small doses, but then trying to remember the recipes is sort of the double-edged sword because you got to keep it in your head, but then I don't want to just sit. This isn't the type of game where I just want to sit there and play for an hour or two.
That was my Achilles heel. If I let it lapse for more than like a day, then I felt like I had to relearn these combinations all over again. So I felt like I had to be kind of consistent about my gameplay, or else I was just going to be sitting in the Crankpedia all day.
Where are you at, Nick? Are you on the short end or got to play it right away? Keep it in your
Um,
mind.
as far as trying to truck through the game,
Like
uh,
how does the game sit with you? Like keep it in your mind, so you got to keep playing it every a little bit every day or a lot every day,
I
or you
I
can
I
put
would
it
have
down and go back to it.
putting it down and coming back is going to mean that I'll wipe all memory of the game. So,
Yeah.
in order to succeed at the game, I think I'm going to have to start over at some point, um, when I have a bit more time to devote to it. But I'm looking forward to it. Just from what I've experienced and what Ryan has talked about, I'm interested to see how this continues to ramp and if it remains as cool as it seems to be.
Cool. I guess we should probably wrap up before too long, but Ryan, I wanted to ask how many of the like epilogue type stuff you got there. It looks like there's quite a bit.
Yeah, I got through them all, and the game does not end until the end of the epilogue, and then mild spoiler, there is more after the epilogue.
Okay.
You complete the game after the epilogue, but then you're gifted with additional gameplay at that point. I think I'll leave it at that. I don't want to spoil too much, but um, it's a very well thought out game, very polished game, very well portioned game. The timers are what they should be. The ramping up in complexity is what it should be. Uh, the movement of the crank is as Nick said, just totally intuitive. I love the fact that you can reference these recipes essentially anytime you want, and then it's not taking away your timer. My I just had a couple of very brief minor critiques, which I already mentioned, but man, overall, this is such a good game. I like this so much, and I'm so glad I was able to play through and complete it before we chat today, so that I could give a little nuance as the game progresses.
Yeah, well done. I'm glad you did too. I see your name on some of the leaderboards.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh
on
man, I
like
didn't even know
three or
there were
four of them.
leaderboards on here.
There's
Huh.
a
Oh.
ton. Some of them have only the dev on them. Some of the
Oh yeah.
special
Look at that.
levels.
Huh. Okay. Right on.
Yeah, very
Who knew?
cool.
Well, thanks for picking this one, Don. I would not have done so, and I'm so glad you got back into my good graces. No, I'm just kidding. I'm so glad you chose this one
Dang.
and put it in front of me because I had a great time with it.
I'm glad you liked it.
Yeah. Cool. Oh, okay. Well, I guess that brings us to our pick of the week for next episode, which is from me. And this time it's going to be a game called Ballistic Tilt by Derek Dumas. Ballistic Tilt is Playdate's answer, or Derek Dumas's answer, to that wooden labyrinth game that we all played as a kid. You sort of tilt it one way and the other, and the ball rolls around this labyrinth maze. And with Ballistic Tilt, you're doing that on the Playdate screen using the accelerometer. So you're tilting your Playdate back and forth and forward and back and side to side to move the ball through this maze. And I was astounded by the accuracy of this accelerometer, where it's moving one way, moving another. You tilt it just a little bit, and man, the Playdate understands that is a slow roll. And you can speed things up. Lots of interesting obstacles in your way in this game that obviously could not exist in real life, like spinning spiky bits, and even some interesting elements of like elevated platforms that you could cruise up on a ramp and you could fall off on either side, and it obstructs your path. Lots of cool stuff in here. So basically, like wooden labyrinth on steroids, using the accelerometer on the Playdate. There's my pitch for you. It's only $1 on itch. We're gonna point you to it in the show notes of today's episode, and I look forward to playing this one with you guys. Um, I think that's it. Shall we talk about our outro stuff, or did you guys want to mention anything? Oh, I want to mention one thing. This is the last time I can mention my Kickstarter, which is at annualdispatch.com. It's for my latest issue that I'm putting out of it's sort of like my annual art book at this point. It's the first one I'm going to do in this way. So if you head over to annualdispatch.com, you've got about a week left before you can no longer back this campaign. So I'd appreciate you heading over there. In the meantime, we are the Hello Playdate podcast. That's Don over there, and that's Nick on the other side. This is me, Ryan, and you can reach us at helloplaydatepodcast@gmail.com. As I mentioned before, you can hit us up on those bingo tip lines: 724-BINGOS-1, 724-BINGOS-1, 246-4671. And we're also on the YouTubes, youtube.com/@helloplaydatepodcast. We're on the Blue Skies, helloplaydatebluesky.social, and you can find our podcast on playdatepodcast.com. I think that's going to do it. Guys, what did I miss?
You missed me saying thank you to everybody who came out to the White Rose Game Room show to talk to me about the Playdate. And I think I made a new convert. So if you happen to be listening, person that I spoke with at length about the Playdate, welcome. And I hope you enjoyed the show. And I'm sorry. But also, it was great to see all the people there, and to have them experience the different games that I brought for people to play, including the brand new Robo Frenzy for the VIC-20, which Ryan illustrated the box art and the illustration on the instruction sheet. Yes. So feel free to check those out if you like. But thanks very much, everybody.
Cool. Good job evangelizing the Playdate at a non-Playdate event. I'm going to join that company with you. I just got back from Pinball Expo in Chicago. I think I had a convert there too. I had the proof copy of my new publication, which you can find at annualdispatch.com. And as they were looking through it, the artwork for Hello Playdate Podcast was in there. And the person was like, "Oh yeah, I heard you do this podcast thing. I've never listened to it before. What is a Playdate anyway?" And I just happened to have it in my pocket. And I'm like, "Well, let me show you." And like, "What is that thing on the side?" It's a crank. Does it power the thing? No, it's a game mechanic. And I had Cranky Cove all pulled up, so it was really easy to show them. But I'm like, that's not the only way it can be used. Devs use it in all kinds of different ways. Pulled up Crankin's Time Travel Adventure, let them play that the first few levels. They're like, "Whoa, what is this? How much is it?" told them about it. The whole first season you get, blah, blah, blah. Like, wow, that's a pretty good deal for all those games. Anyway, I think they might go buy one. So again,
Wow.
fist bumps through the Zoom call, Nick. Good job evangelizing Playdates. Maybe we got a couple more Playdate players because of it. We'll see. Anyhow, thank you, Panic, for making such an easy to talk about, fun little device. And we will see you on the next episode in our big countdown to episode 100.
Yay.
Hooray!
All right. See you soon.
Bye.
Bye.